Ready?
Ready. Number 2.
Sexy man.
Speak up, the audience can't hear you.
I said, I love you. To which you said, I love you too. And I said, gosh, you're such a sexy hunka man.
Turn your mic a little so your necklaces don't hit it, please.
I prefer it going clinkety clink, clinkety clink, clinkety clink, 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 clink.
Yeah, well, the sound editor doesn't prefer that at all.
Well, this is going to get really loud here, so excuse us while we adjust. Let go of the material. We are having clothing and microphone malfunctions. How's that?
Very nice. I like it.
It's the Dolly Lop.
Dolly Lop.
That's lopped over.
Kind of like this.
Yeah, it's going up on this side, and so go like this at the front and just take it down.
I was thinking, if only I had a mirror, and if only I checked it before I pushed the record button.
I get you. You know, we all have to deal with these problems. Anyway, hello everyone. We're having fun right now. We just got finished watching A Dog's Purpose, bawling our eyes out.
A Dog's Life.
No, A Dog's Purpose.
Is it Dog's Purpose? I thought it was
Yeah.
called A Dog's Life.
No, A Dog's Purpose.
Oh.
We ordered it on Amazon, rented it from there, streamed it. Good movie. Had us crying a little. It was cute.
I don't think I've ever cried so much during any movie in my entire life.
Especially when it's all about an animal.
It was like Lassie times 3 or 4.
Lassie or Benji to the 10th power.
Right. I mean, it's like, Lassie dies at the end and everybody cries. Well, he dies and they cry, you cry, and he dies again, you cry again. He dies again, you cry again. By the end, you're like, damn, I am done crying. I am just cried out.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a good movie, though. All right. So today we're doing lesson 133. I will not value what is valueless. Let us begin. And we have our security detail here, Thor.
And we have Spaz, who makes her jealous.
Makes who jealous?
You jealous.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We won't go there. Start. Let's get on track here.
Lesson 133. I will not value what is valueless.
Come on, back here.
Sometimes in teaching, there is benefit, particularly after you have gone through what seems theoretical and far from what the student has already learned, to bring him back to practical concerns.
Say that again. Somebody was keeping me distracted.
Sometimes in teaching, there is benefit, particularly after you have gone through what seems theoretical and far from what the student has already learned, to bring him back to practical concerns. This will do today. We will not speak of lofty, world-encompassing ideas, but dwell instead on benefits to you. You do not ask too much of life, but far too little. When you let your mind be drawn to bodily concerns, to things you buy, to eminence as valued by the world, you ask for sorrow, not for happiness. This course does not attempt to take from you the little that you have. It does not try to substitute utopian ideas for satisfactions which the world contains. There are no satisfactions in the world. Today, we list the real criteria by which to test all things you think you want. Unless they meet these sound requirements, they are not worth desiring at all, for they can but replace what offers more. The laws that govern choice you cannot make, no more than you can make alternatives from which to choose. The choosing you can do, indeed, you must, but it is wise to learn the laws you set in motion when you choose, and what alternatives you choose between. We have already stressed there are but two, however many there appear to be. The range is set, and this we cannot change. It would be most ungenerous to you to let alternatives be limitless, and thus delay your final choice until you had considered all of them in time, and not been brought so clearly to the place where there is but one choice that must be made. Another kindly and related law is that there is no compromise in what your choice must bring. It cannot give you just a little, for there is no in-between. Each choice you make brings everything to you or nothing. Therefore, if you learn the tests by which you can distinguish everything from nothing, you will make the better choice.
Excellent. Did you get all that?
I got the gist of what it was saying.
Break it down.
You really like putting me in the spot, don't you?
No, it's just because I'm not able to comprehend it like you can.
I see.
It's like I was hearing you read it, I was following along, but I wasn't comprehending it. It was like it's not making any sense. I kept hearing wah 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 wah. I was like, wow, really?
Basically, it was saying that we concern ourselves too much with worldly and bodily issues. That if the universe is mental, we should not spend so much mental energy thinking about the finite, the things that have no value in this world.
Okay, so I get it. What they're saying is we keep choosing the ego thought system, and it's the ego thought system that has us choosing for all the materialistic things of the world, thinking those things will make us happy. Now, the truth is, none of that stuff makes us happy. It gives us joy for a few seconds, a few moments, until we remember we have to pay the bill for that. And then we go right into a tailspin of fear of, oh shit, how the hell am I going to pay for this? So the whole, joy, ecstasy, ecstatic happiness and all that only lasts for a very short time before you then have the thoughts coming into your mind of, how is it going to be paid for? Why did I do this? This is why so many people have buyer's remorse. It's like it's all fine and dandy in the moment, but suddenly they get hit with, oh crap, how am I going to pay for this? How can I afford this? And they realize that they just got themselves into a bigger hole than what they initially had thought themselves to be in. Now, that test that they're talking about here, we've been talking about how to look at the things that are of value. the relationships that you have with the people, the animals, the planet, and everything around you. How you are choosing to interact and perceive them in any given moment. Those are the things that are of value, those connections. It's the connections that matter here. The material shit in the world has no meaning and doesn't matter at all in the end. It comes, it goes. But it's those connections that can last a lifetime. Even if the connection with that particular being does not. The memories, the moments, the lessons learned in the time spent together with that being is what will be lasting you a lifetime. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And
Not just a lifetime, it'll last for eternity.
yeah. The two distinct things that come to mind that they could be talking about here, honestly, is Holy Spirit and ego. Two thought systems, two choices. Ego, Holy Spirit. One or the other. You got to make a choice between the two. Which one you going to choose? We know which one Holy Spirit gives, and we know which ones ego gives. Seems pretty, cut, dry, and clear that most people are going to want the Holy Spirit. Yet they keep finding themselves choosing what?
Ego.
Ding, 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 ding. Drum roll. Yeah, I'm not good at those kinds of noises. It's that kind of crap, folks, that we have been talking about continuously. Recognizing what's of value, what is not. How you base your value and worth on what you can contribute. And what is it that you're wanting to contribute? What's of more value? Please continue.
First, if you choose a thing that will not last forever, what you chose is valueless. A temporary value is without all value. Time can never take away a value that is real. What fades and dies was never there, and makes no offering to him who chooses it. He is deceived by nothing in a form he thinks he likes. Next, if you choose to take a thing away from someone else, you will have nothing left. This is because when you deny his right to everything, you have denied your own. You therefore will not recognize the things you really have, denying they are there. Who seeks to take away has been deceived by the illusion loss can offer gain. Yet loss must offer loss and nothing more. Your next consideration is the one on which the others rest. Why is the choice you make of value to you? What attracts your mind to it? What purpose does it serve? Here is the easiest of all to be deceived. Here it is easiest of all to be deceived. For what the ego wants, it fails to recognize. It does not even tell the truth as it perceives it, for it needs to keep the halo which it uses to protect its goals from tarnish and from rust, that you may see how, quote, innocent it is. Yet is its camouflage a thin veneer, which could deceive but those who are content to be deceived. Its goals are obvious to anyone who cares to look for them. Here is deception doubled, for the one who is deceived will not perceive he has merely failed to gain. He will believe that he has served the ego's hidden goals. Yet, though he tries to keep its halo clear within his vision, still must he perceive its tarnished edges and rusted core. His ineffectual mistakes appear as sins to him, because he looks upon the tarnish as his own, the rust a sign of deep unworthiness within himself. He who would still preserve the ego's goals and serve them as his own makes no mistakes according to the dictates of his guide. This guidance teaches it is error to believe that sins are but mistakes, for who would suffer for his sins if this were so?
Yep, exactly. So, as I was just speaking of, it's talking about either choosing ego or choosing Holy Spirit. And it's talking about the ego thought system here, folks. How the ego has you looking at things, judging it, judging yourself, and then seeking out there in the world and your brothers for the answers. Thinking you have to hide things because if anyone knew, you'd be judged as sinful, as bad, as wrong, as evil. That about sum it up?
That sounds about right.
This is all the same crap. We're on, what's that? Broken record? Yeah, broken record loop going on.
It's just the same thing said in a different form. That's really what Jesus is doing over and over and over again, is he's laying out the same ideas, the same concepts said in a different way, coming from a different angle, hoping that finally we'll get it.
Something will click for you and you will go, aha! That aha moment where you're going, by George, I think I've got it. I really do. They're like, really?
They're like, by George, I think Mommy's lost it.
You're such a good boys. They are. They're such good boys. So, yeah. Same shit, different day, folks. It's talking about the ego and how it has you picking, choosing, judging, and denying yourself and your brothers in the world. All right, please continue.
And so we come to the criterion for choice that is the hardest to believe, because its obviousness is overlaid with many levels of obscurity. If you feel any guilt about your choice, you have allowed the ego's goals to come between the real alternatives, and thus you do not realize there are but two, and the alternative you think you chose seems fearful and too dangerous to be the nothingness it actually is. All things are valuable or valueless, worthy or not of being sought at all, entirely desirable or not worth the slightest effort to obtain. Choosing is easy just because of this. Complexity is nothing but a screen of smoke, which hides the very simple fact that no decision can be difficult. What is the gain to you in learning this? It is far more than merely letting you make choices easily and without pain. Heaven itself is reached with empty hands and open minds, which come with nothing to find everything and claim it as their own. We will attempt to reach this state today with self-deception laid aside and with an honest willingness to value but the truly valuable and the real. Our 2 extended practice periods of 15 minutes each begin with this: I will not value what is valueless, and only what has value do I seek, for only that do I desire to find, and then receive what waits for everyone who reaches, unencumbered, to the gate of heaven, which swings open as he comes, Should you begin to let yourself collect some needless burdens, or believe you see some difficult decisions facing you, be quick to answer with this simple thought: I will not value what is valueless, for what is valuable belongs to me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, folks. It's pretty cut and dry. It's pointing out all the things we've already pointed out, that you need to look at these things you have been picking and choosing to believe in, to trust in, to enact on yourself and on your brothers. And man, that cat comes in, and every time my head just goes, and I can't breathe anymore.
Because he brings in all that dirt from outside.
Yeah, our cat, one of our cats, Willow, has this thing about going out and finding dust and dirt and pollen, something to roll around in. And all he has to do is walk in the room with me, and within seconds, my eyes start itching and burning. My sinuses completely close up, and I can't, it's like my ears start clogging up like I got cotton wool in them. I can't hardly breathe. I'm going, it's just, it goes crazy. But back to this, it's pretty cut and dry. It's all the stuff we've been talking about looking within it, all the stuff that you've experienced throughout your life, looking at the judgments you're holding of everything, and recognizing that every time you open your mouth to say something and you're judging, giving advice, having an opinion, that you are going with your ego in those moments. That is when you want to reconsider stepping back with Holy Spirit, stepping back to Holy Spirit and saying, excuse me, Holy Spirit, you want to take the driver's seat here? Because I just about stepped in it and stepped on it, and I'm asking you to guide me through this minefield. You know, once you start asking and you start receiving, you stop forgetting to ask. You find yourself building up the habit of asking always, constantly about everything. And you find yourself willingly listening for that answer and accepting it without judgment when it's given. All right, folks, that was lesson 133. Oop, I went the wrong way. Tells you how dyslexic I am if I go the wrong way in a book. All right, that was lesson 133. I will not value what is valueless. Valueless. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Sabrina Reyenga.
And my name is Alex Reyenga.
Hugs, love, light, and blessings on your journey, my brothers. You are loved. We love you. Please be the light you are meant to be. Please be the light we see you to be. Please be the light we know you to be. Please choose to be the light. Have a glorious day, everyone.